conventions, award shows, cricket, parking spaces, Thai massage parlors. It's Sunday night, and you know what that means. Welcome to an extra special late night edition of Point of Viewer. I am Viewer himself, glad to be here as always, pulling rare double duty, technically triple duty, on a Sunday. It's been that kind of a day. Oh, great disembodied voice.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Oddly enough, even more appropriate given what we discussed off air tonight.
Also, well, speaking of what we discussed off air, you want to talk about having a fucking day.
Look, I'm not saying mine was bad.
I didn't exactly get off to the best start today myself, okay?
Yeah, the Fonty showing up, people getting the shit slapped out of them. Oh, we'll be talking about
we
that.
gonna talk. We damn sure go talk about that.
So yeah,
we about to talk about that.
I take it things didn't go entirely as planned in the swamp.
Oh man. We love SwampCon. We really do. I have to say that first and foremost. Like, we've been doing that show since year one. They've been absolutely amazing to us. We had some technical issues today that were like convention threatening stopping.
I'll say.
Morning. Thankfully, we were able to work past them, even with. If Toby is listening, I'm sorry, but it's true. Extreme annoyances at the time.
Yeah, I saw the messages. I doubt he's listening given the hour we're broadcasting, but...
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me. That man was talking to me on the way home, wondering if I was going to be on doing a show tonight, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's listening.
Yeah, well...
Unfortunately, since I'm literally phoning this in... because my computer is stuck in the back of a car that I can't unload because parking, which we'll get to in a minute. Yeah, I got to phone this one in, literally.
I mean, given the day you've had, I ain't mad at you. Besides, you sound great to those listening who, if you take your podcast orally, we were available on a wide variety of podcasting platforms. I mean, Stitcher, Spreaker, Podbean, CastBox, iTunes, Google Pods, Apple Pods, Overcast. Rate and review us 5 stars on Spotify. If you name it, we're most likely on it. And as being a disembodied voice, you're not seen live on Twitch at twitch.tv/W2Mnet or on Twitter or Facebook, twitter.com and facebook.com/W2Mnetwork. So you're fine. You're fine.
I mean, speaking of Apple Pods, I got a brand new pair of AirPods, and that's actually what you're hearing me off of. So I get to phone it in and be hands-free about it.
Interesting, given what we're going to be talking about towards the end of the show, but that's a topic for later.
Look, if I have to put up with you telling me that you ain't wearing pants, you can deal with me saying that I am hands-free tonight.
Well, I was going to say something about when I was going to preview the Thai massage parlors, but I'm not wearing pants, so I can't talk.
Wow, we're off to a slammingly good start here. I love it. But yeah, no. Always test your code before sending it into production. Also, always test your code when you're using it for the first time on a new machine.
Especially when it's something like VB6.
Also, when you're testing your code, make sure you have all necessary DLL components for your code enabled and active in Visual Basic before attempting to load your project and or run your code.
For everything I heard about fail grammar,
It
was
wasn't
I
his fault.
really?
The loading of the Windows Media Player DLL component was not his fault.
So again, going back to VB6.
Yeah, no, VB6 is an antiquated, and you're going to hear my voice crack a lot tonight. I'm sorry, I've been using it a lot this weekend.
As I can
Um,
tell.
yeah.
For those
Yeah, no,
audio
that,
listeners, I just put out a cricket signal. I will explain later.
yeah, no, that wasn't his fault, actually. Backup code, because the previous up-to-date code was on a computer that got fried literally by a power surge.
Okay.
So we were on like 3-year-old backup code on a brand new code box that has not been used at a convention yet.
Oh boy.
And the critical thing that makes every single show work, period, Windows Media Player was not enabled properly in Visual Basic 6, which is both mine and a certain wannabe disembodied voice's fault, and also not our fault at the same time, because we're used to it just being there and completely had forgotten about the fact that this was a brand new machine with brand new Visual Basic that had not been used at a convention yet. So we were in like convention level cancellation territory this morning. While the not so failed grammar had to very rapidly kludge stuff together to get it working again, because it had accidentally corrupted due to the lack of said Windows Media Player controller. It wasn't to the level of AFO 12 all over, or AFO all AFO 12 all over again, but goddamn, it was getting close.
I can. Wow. Yeah. No wonder there was a lot of stress. Talk of someone getting fired. A whole bunch of different things.
I told him to be on standby, and I can't get in to do shit to prepare the streaming because we're not on the dual box system yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't get in to get OBS up and running to do the streaming or anything while he's sitting there desperately trying to fix code, because I'm sorry, the code is more important.
This is true. This is very true.
Without the code, we have no fucking show.
This is again very true.
So I don't give two fucking shits about streaming. If I get, what the hell am I gonna fucking stream if I have no code? So I'm just gonna let him sit there and do his fucking job. And here, it was, oh god, no, it was not a good morning. Because the room that we were in, we were under the assumption and anticipation, from the event staff, the convention, that the Ethernet would work in that room, and all we would have to do is plug and go like we did in the match game Hollywood Squares last night. Yeah, that room's internet was working perfectly fine, and we got switched into that room because we were in the Rights Union Auditorium.
Mm-hmm.
That room is not suitable for game shows, much less an MGHS. There was literally no way an MGHS was going to go off in that room. It wasn't going to happen.
Okay.
The room setup would not allow it. There's just not enough space at the front of the room to, get, all the tables necessary to cram all of the guests, or, if you could see me embody myself, which is not possible this evening. I am doing air quotes here, so you may have to do them for me. But celebrities, because this is a small to medium sized convention that doesn't really hold actual celebrities.
Well, considering as how you were doing an 18 plus show at like,
That show is always 18 plus. When we
I
take it to
know,
regular conventions, it's 21 plus.
I know, but what I'm saying, not so much the show being 18 plus, but the timing of an 18 plus show. The fact that you were doing an 18 plus show pre actual watershed hour is telling enough for the convention.
We had to. The rights union closes at 11 p.m.
This is my point. This is what I am trying to say.
I mean, we had no control over that.
I'm not saying you had
Hey, we
control.
were there. There has always been in the history of SwampCon. There's always two 18 plus programming things on Saturday night. It's us and the drag show, and you would be
I'm not.
damn surprised how big the drag community is in Gainesville.
A, I'm not surprised. The Gainesville has a nickname Gaines Vegas for a reason. B, again, I'm not implying you had control over that. I am just saying, with those circumstances aligning, that tells me the scope of the con itself is still limited. That's what I was getting at.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, COVID, certain things out of their control. So I mean, they did the best they could.
Oh, I'm
But
sure
yeah,
that they did.
but
It's
yeah,
nothing against them.
they moved us at like the absolute last pot. Well, maybe not the last possible second, but they definitely moved us very late in the day. Like they're like, hey, we got a room for you. You can move here. This will work. But today we were again 100% in the auditorium, and we had our Ethernet cord today. We didn't have it earlier in the day on yesterday. The convention actually did us a huge favor and ran out to a local store to get us an Ethernet cable because we did not realize that there was internet at this convention, or that there was supposed to be internet at this convention, and that we could use it to stream. So they went out, found us an Ethernet cable, brought it back. We had it in time for MGHS. We were able to set up the OBS and do the streaming. We get to that point today, and the universe was just like, nope, congratulations. Law of averages, motherfucker. You had a great day yesterday. You're having a shit day today.
Well, I mean, it was a great day, Saturday, aside from the fact that you kept calling me a technical some bitch.
I
Which, to
mean,
be
you are a
fair,
technical some bitch, you technical some bitch.
look, I warned you. How many times have I said wides
You
are a
said,
penalty?
yeah, you
No
said,
balls are a
I
penalty.
I never once heard you say that a fucking no ball was a penalty run.
Yes,
I
just let.
remembered wides. I knew wides were a fucking penalty run.
So if you think
Not no
about it,
balls.
well, if you think about it, if you hit a six on a wide delivery, that's still 7 runs on a ball.
I'm flipping you off right now. You just can't see it. I need you to know that.
I am well aware. I am very
Okay.
well aware.
Okay, good. As long as you're aware of that, then good. Yeah, technical some bitch.
Look, if I didn't have a whole bunch of stuff going on today and I couldn't easily download those clips, maybe next week, but still.
You're gonna make me download my own embarrassment, aren't you?
Oh no, I'm going to download your embarrassment. I'm just going to save you that embarrassment tonight. Again, next week is an entirely different story.
I gotta
Especially
get
since,
embarrassed. I gotta be embarrassed with Rancid Randy, and Harry Broadhurst will not be seen tonight here as well.
well, no, because since Harry Broadhurst will not be seen that night, there's not going to be any Rancid Randy.
Oh wait a minute, yeah, that's right. Next week, Harry's doing the WrestleMania thing, so he's not going to be around, is he?
Nope.
So
Also,
we don't get a Rancid Randy for that either, because there's no point in having Rancid Randy if we don't have a Harry to continue the bracket.
Correct. So it'll be the two of us all over again. Another reason.
Shit.
Well, another reason why I have my Thursday open this week as well. We did a live edition of the Broadhurst Watkins Sports Report, Sports in Black and White, today streamed live on YouTube because he's not going to be available Thursday either.
Well, Thursday I'm not going to be available because I'll be at the Price is Right live.
Well, no, I wasn't saying that in terms of, hey, moving a point of viewer. I
No,
was
I
saying,
mean, I know you're just going to be free on Thursday to be able to download my embarrassing moments from SwampCon and use them against me in some, Fourth or Fifth Amendment illegal bullshit.
I mean, I'm not going to question any sort of legality or anything in that sense. I am just saying these were available from a free use source. The author of these clips also happens to be available, and the person in these clips just so happens to be a disembodied voice on the podcast, so issues are at a minimum.
You also realize that a certain disembodied voice on this podcast, while he is definitely giving you two birds up right now, has control of the channel from which those clips were taken, and a certain streaming video platform service will allow him to delete those clips regardless of who created them.
Well, I mean, when you put it that way, I have a little bit of work to do now, don't I?
Let me log into Twitch. I'm still logged into the Florida Whammy account because I tried streaming live off of my phone.
Ah,
Let me go delete the fucking bot.
shit. Mutter, beating the clock, mutter.
Oh man, I needed that laugh. Speaking of laughs, funny man Chris Rock got bitch slapped in the face.
I mean, full on Will Smith. Kudos to you for your Rick James impression. Very well done.
I'm Rick
And,
James, bitch.
and
Show Charlie Murphy your titties. I'm Rick James, bitch. Go have sex with Charlie Murphy.
Bitch, come over here and have sex with Charlie Murphy. I'm Rick James, bitch.
They should have never gave you niggas money.
Oh, that never.
See,
gets
it's always good when I hit it with you and you're not expecting it because it just makes it that much better. Because if you just like crack up like you are right now, because the next thing that I'm gonna say is "fuck your couch, nigga, fuck your couch."
Ah, another one, you rich motherfucker.
Darkness is. That's pretty damn good Rick James impersonation, though.
Yes, it is. Ah.
I'm glad I made you laugh, you darkness motherfucker.
I mean, you're welcome.
Goddamn technical fucking.
Well, now you know. And again, as I mentioned on the BWSR, and you're subject to this too, there was a big moment involving a no ball in the Women's World Cup. India, South Africa, game on the line. India has to win to go to the semifinals. On the second to last ball of the match, India were called for a no ball. That allowed South Africa to win. To my delight, because it helped the West Indies qualify.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yes, at that point, South Africa needed 3 off 1, trying to complete an epic chase. But they looked at that and they found that no ball. It then became 2 off 2. Back to back singles, bam, South Africa wins. Despite trailing by over 100 runs with 20 overs to go.
Holy shit!
It was a nail biter. South Africa looked dead in the water chasing 275, but they did it with a plum. I tuned in to watch the final 15 overs, and I'm like, this is fucking possible. I think they can pull this off. I wanted them to pull this off, and they did. Fantastic match.
Well, I'll be damned. But yes, back to the funny man. Yes, he definitely pulled out his best Rick James impersonation, and told him to keep his wife's name out and show fucking mouth.
In the way Chris Rock, he's up there stunned. He was like,
he was legitimately stunned. Like, he's like, man, I did not actually expect that.
Yeah, he was like, it was a Jane joke, but he played it perfectly. Perfectly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Chris Rock definitely handled that the right way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not retaliating or anything, but come on, man. There's even for comedians, there are some lines you don't cross, and one of them is making fun of a man's wife, especially wife and medical conditions, or I should say, family and medical conditions. Those are definitely two lines I think you just don't cross as a comedian. I don't care who you are.
You know what? It would be a really interesting twist. After all this, call out Chris Rock and take him to the red table.
I see what you did there.
You want to follow up interesting viewing with even more interesting viewing? I'm just saying, this is a golden opportunity here.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But man, I saw that because it was right before we came on air, and I was seeing all the memes about it because I don't give a fuck about the Oscars. Never really have given a fuck about the Oscars. But
yeah,
I see all that going around. I'm talking about Apple TV.
I mean, it's only an hour. That should only happen an hour, maybe two at most, right? This is the Will Smith shit. This is fucking breaking news.
Yeah, because this, oh god, at the time we're recording this, the Oscars just ended 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's 1:30 Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Oscars wrapped at midnight.
Yeah, thereabouts. So I was just like, well, damn, what the hell is this going on? And then, thanks to Chiseled Adonis, who I follow on Twitter as well as YouTube, he had the quote tweet with the Japanese feed, as you were good enough to tell me. And then we're doing live translations, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, it's all over my Facebook right now. Everybody, media-wise, is sharing it.
Yeah, I can see why. Definitely see why.
I don't know. It's definitely going to go down as the craziest moment in Oscars history now. I'm pretty sure that beats out somebody streaking in front of Dennis Rodman.
Somebody streaking in front of Dennis Rodman. If we're talking award shows in general, Kanye West and Taylor Swift.
No, I'm going to let you finish, but Beyonce had the greatest music video of all time. Of all time.
Oh, yay. If only you take your medicine. But, yeah, it kind of...
Speaking of people taking their medicine, the asshole in my apartment complex who did not take his fucking medicine today so that he could see the fucking words reserved in my parking spot can kindly go sit on a cactus and rotate.
Funny, I feel like I've heard that before this weekend.
I can't confirm or deny these statements. Fuck your couch, Doc! This is...
Yeah, you were telling me about this situation.
Yeah, so I just got home, like,
Yeah.
literally at midnight on the dot.
Yeah.
Go to pull into my covered awning reserved spot right in front of my building. And, well, guess what? Some asshole with New Jersey parking plates is backed into my spot.
Because of course, New Jersey.
Of course, it has to be some fucking asshole from New Jersey. I pay $45 extra. Myself and John, but we pay $45 extra a month for this spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
This ain't the first time this shit has happened. I was told by the management here, who, other than parking, has been really good and really on top of things. To be completely honest with you,
Which is a good thing.
parking is like another thing in its entirety, though. They're like, oh, well, if it happens after hours, just call the office, hit the option for the courtesy officer, and tell them what's going on, and they'll come and have the car removed or stickered or whatever it is the officer deems necessary.
Right.
So I call the number at midnight on the dot. That's when I got home. That's when I made the phone call. Left the message. It is 1:41 in the morning Eastern time. I have not gotten a call back from the courtesy officer, and I certainly sure as hell haven't seen him drive by, because almost every window in my house can see right out to the parking spot. Definitely
So you
haven't
would
seen him, and I would know if he, pulled up. Yeah, I'm not happy.
I would think
Because
you wouldn't be happy.
because I have a car full of suitcases of, now dirty laundry from over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I've got boxes of equipment, I've got boxes of monitors, I have a computer that I normally would be doing this show off of.
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff is trapped in the back seat, and I can't get it out because I can't open the doors to my car big and wide enough to be able to pull all of that stuff out, because everybody has their oversized fucking vehicles in this apartment complex.
Jeepus.
And part of the reason why I picked the specific spot that I picked is there's a curb with grass right next to it. It's the very last spot on the end of the awning. I can open up the passenger side doors as wide as I want.
Okay.
So I can load and unload the car with ease. Can't do that right now. So all of that stuff is stuck in the car until morning. And it won't be morning, it'll be tomorrow night, because John will be up and out the door early in the morning for work with all of the stuff in the car. And he won't get home until late that evening, which will be the first opportunity I'll actually get to unload the car, because, well, if this asshole from New Jersey and his blue Ford is not moved by this time tomorrow night, there's going to be actual problems.
I would think so. I would expect nonetheless.
But yeah, they just went through this like big giant thing at the beginning of the month saying, hey, if you have a reserved spot, you need to stop by the office by the 15th and pick up your new parking decal, because we're switching all the parking decals out in the community. And when I went down there and I picked mine up, I'm like, oh, why are you switching all the decals out? Oh, we're having problems with people abusing old decals, where they had a spot and they got rid of it, didn't pay for it, they didn't turn the decal in or whatever. So we're changing all the decals out so that we can be better on top of parking enforcement.
So much for that.
Yeah. So I get to go down and raise hell in the morning.
Which I thoroughly would.
Yeah, because I'm paying extra for a service that I'm not getting. And what's the point of me paying for the service when the enforcement mechanism isn't available or able to be used?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, there really is none.
I should just park in one of the spots for free. It's not like they're going to tow me anyway.
Exactly. Not the way that they're acting.
So, and this isn't the first time we've gone out of town before or been away for a day and come back and somebody's parked in the spot. There's been times where I go to sleep, I wake up, somebody's parked in the parking spot, and then I'm fighting with the office all day to get them to move to put a sticker or a parking violation sticker on the car.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, tomorrow I get to go down and raise hell and be like, this is not the first, second, or even third time this has happened. This car needs to be gotten rid of now.
Oh,
Not 24-hour warning. Now.
well, we'll see what they actually do about it, because that's the big question.
That or they owe me a partial refund for the parking spot.
Yeah, like I would say either so much or so many months, something along those lines.
Because yeah, it's like I have one of the nicest reserved spots. Like it's the closest to the building. It's viewable from a majority of the apartments in this building, right? So if anybody parks there and their unit, like their apartment faces towards the parking lot and not towards the other side, they can see the car easy. So yeah, it's definitely one of the nicest out of all of the reserved spots there. But the parking situation here is horrible, right? The whole reason why we got that parking spot in the beginning was because John gets home from work late from teaching nights. As you know, you guys know from Life is Like a Game Show, John is a professor.
Yes.
And he teaches nights. He gets home, at least a few months ago anyways, before the semesters changed, he was getting home 11:30, 12 o'clock at night sometimes because of traffic coming from one of the campuses he adjuncts at. You get home that late and this parking lot is literally full, like no parking spot anywhere. So you either have to drive around the entire complex, hope you find something, or you have to, quote unquote, illegally park up against a curb. Because there's literally no other place to park because you can't park in a reserve spot or you'll get towed, is what they keep telling us. So, we complain. It's like, we ask them, it's like, well, where do we park if there's literally no parking? It's like, well, you got to figure you got to circle until you find something. And it's like, I'm not going to circle for 30 minutes hoping somebody pulls out at midnight. It's not going to happen. And they're like, okay, well, we can offer you a concession of giving you a reserved spot at half off. And that way you're always guaranteed to have a parking spot. So we decided to opt for that, and it's been great, except for when people park in the spot, that isn't us. It's an absolute pain in the ass to get them moved out. It's like, if you park somewhere that you're not supposed to, it shouldn't be, my opinion, it shouldn't be a 24 hours before they tow them thing. It's I would give them put a sticker on them the moment you find it. If they're not there at the end of the business day, which here it's, 6 o'clock is when they close the office, call the tow truck company.
Have them towed that night. I mean, that's perfectly reasonable. Perfectly reasonable.
Because, you probably parked your car somewhere where you can see it. Most people tend to do that at home. Especially if you parked it somewhere you probably shouldn't have.
Yep.
So you can see when they put the giant ass bright yellow sticker on your driver window. So, but yeah, no, I've got a very good feeling to the point where I would hashtag bet on Bovada. 21
I
means 21. God damn it, obey all local gambling laws. That I'm gonna go down to the office in the morning and they'll be like, "Oh, well, we can put a sticker on their car, but we gotta wait 24 hours before we can tow them." To which I'm going to say, "No, that's bullshit," because they've been there since midnight at least. Probably
yeah,
longer than that because I was out of town.
yeah, and if I were you, I would definitely use that in raising hell and saying, "Look, you're not doing this. I've got proof. I want my money."
Oh no, I went out there and made it very blatantly obvious, right, that I am taking pictures of that car being in that spot. And they are time stamped on my phone. So when I go down to the office tomorrow, I get to show them the timestamp of, "Hey, look, I called at midnight on the dot, left a message for the courtesy officer, and then at 12:35, no courtesy officer showed up yet, nothing from them via phone or text, and cars still parked there." So that's the what really grinds my gears segment for this week.
Well, I mean, it was a good one. You said you wanted to get that kind of off your chest as I'm sitting here still, like I presented on the Brothers Watkins Sports Report, my idea for indoor cricket that I've been hooked on today and it fascinates me. That and Thai massage parlors, why they're beneficial, and why I would not entirely turn down if I wind up going on a family trip to Thailand. I would just have to hope and pray that the dollar remains strong and go with a few $100.
These are interesting developments over the past week.
Oh, I mean, keep in mind that this was really over the past, I don't know, course of today. My other situations over the past week are entirely different, but I also need to make a trip to Ocala in my near future.
That's funny. I drove through Ocala on the way up and on the way back.
Yeah, yeah.
Ocala sucks.
Well, for the
I
most
hate
part,
Ocala. I hate Ocala traffic.
well, the traffic sucks, and I mean, outside of certain people and situations that happen to be there, and a racetrack that I'm somewhat fond of, there isn't a whole bunch there. I get it.
Yeah, if you're listening and you're from Ocala, fix your damn traffic on the interstate. I don't give two shits about your local traffic. Just get it off the goddamn interstate. This is why whenever I have to go anywhere north and it's through Ocala, I do it at night.
If I could only get away with like an overnight trip, that way I could get some filming done as well. I
I
was
saw
gift
that look.
Well, I mean, I was gifted with, picture, video, recent escapades, was told that could definitely be me and other interested parties involved, and they happen to be moving to Ocala, so yeah,
You some bitch. That's what I'm
I,
going to say to that.
well, I mean, originally they were in a situation to where with roommates in St. Augustine, but not ideal. Found the place and moving to Ocala, but I'm like, you can do all that. That's why I'm trying to also angle something extra special for my birthday. If other things, well, on top of other things panning out, so we'll see. Everything's in flux.
I was going to say the con thing is not in flux.
Oh no, no! I've already started with the paperwork and everything else. That's locked and
That
loaded.
that that went over better than I anticipated it was going to go over, and I can leave that at that.
I'm not surprised. It was a very pleasant experience. And I was able to remember and follow your advice in doing so. Fingers crossed, things happen.
Oh, I meant the other thing. That information went over better than anticipated, so there is
Oh.
no jeopardy.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
At
That
least
is good news.
I do not perceive there to be jeopardy there.
Well, that's good news. That's a big relief on my part because now I can follow up with the paperwork and everything else to get things going.
I may have had to throw somebody else under the bus, though.
Was it a certain someone else who affected things over the weekend?
No,
Oh, okay.
there
I
was a
mean,
certain somebody else that may or may not be responsible for machinations of Thailand. If you understand what I'm saying.
oh.
Somebody had to be a scapegoat, sort of, but not really.
Well, I mean, at least are they good with being a scapegoat? Do they know that they're a scapegoat?
No.
Alrighty then. Oh boy, that's a bit of a sticky wicket.
Yeah, that's definitely a sticky wicket. Yeah, because I think you and I have failed the wavelength check there, but that's okay.
Well, I have a feeling, but you can definitely explain more off air. Because again, tonight's a short, sweet show, but I'm going to wonder this. All right, I've got two things. One, why?
I posted in the chat.
Ah, ah, yeah, yeah. I mean, sensible and yeah, yeah. No real full on surprise between that and because I can pretty sure that he didn't understand the work aspect.
I mean, no, that's exactly how you got off the hook.
Okay, okay,
Just had to throw somebody under the bus so that he would understand that that's the reason why you were stuck with the work aspect.
gotcha. Much appreciated. Very much appreciated.
I mean, it's not your fault that you know. I'm saying throw under the bus, but I mean, it is the truth.
It is. You're not entirely wrong about that whatsoever.
He was not
Oh,
very happy about the fact that we tried to surprise him with a, last minute appearance by you, though.
yeah, I had a feeling he's not the kind of guy who likes surprises.
No. Because I told him when we got the UF, like actually pulled in, I'm like, yeah, so Eric was going to show up this weekend. We just weren't going to tell you. But unfortunately, he's got like tutoring appointments left, right, and center. So he can't make it.
Yeah, that's why I said had it
He's
been
like,
just
and he's like, well, how did they figure that that was going to happen? I'm like, well, it's not his fault. It's actually, somebody else's fault,
mm-hmm.
who I will not name on air. But
Yeah, like I said, had it been about a week later, because oddly enough, this is the week where now everything for some reason is slowing to a halt, almost.
well, that particular disembodied voice will not be around next weekend. So,
Well, what I'm saying is, had it been a week later for the con
oh
itself.
yeah, no, I know, but no, if it was a week later, we may not have done the con.
Oh, let me guess, Georgia?
No, Texas, same concept, different state. Yeah, he's going to fly to Texas. I will explain that one off air.
Please.
That one's a little bit more complicated question mark, and I think you understand what I mean when I say that. Or God, I hope you do.
No. No.
You're on the right track, but no. We'll explain that off air.
All right. Because, like I say, 2 more ideas and then we'll wrap up a pleasantly short episode.
Yeah, what were we
So,
at? Like 39 minutes or something? I don't know. This damn thing isn't. We're 45 minutes? Yeah, that's not bad.
no. But, my thing about with indoor cricket, and I mentioned this on BWSR, you know how
Sports in
you.
black and white.
Thank you very much. Normally available Thursdays. This week, scheduling a little bit different, but we gave
Since you
you a
were so
lot.
kind, since you were so kind to give my heritage a shout out tonight on Soccer to the Max, available in the archives.
Oh yeah, we did that, especially because Peru is involved in a nail biter and World Cup qualifying with CONMEBOL.
Interesting. I need to go find a drink.
Yeah, you're
Not
right
that kind
there.
of, not that kind of drink.
Oh no, that's why I also saved the drink review. But yeah, you're
I mean, I could do a drink review. I do have a drink, but
save it.
actually, no, I'm not going to save it because it's in a 20-ounce bottle and it's cold, and I'm going to drink it now.
Alrighty then. But I was going to say, yes, your Peruvians are involved in quite the battle and could make the qualifying playoff if all things work. So there's a shot that they could still make it to Qatar.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that, especially after the USA Panama match, right in Orlando, USA
I
5.
was going to say, I actually knew about that match because I saw some stuff on my Facebook feed earlier when I got home about the U.S. qualifying Panama match.
USA 5, Panama 1.
Nice.
We're not in Qatar yet, but it would take something of an epic collapse for us not to get there.
Well, I mean, 5-1. Yeah, that's almost as shutout can get.
Yeah, but I mean, we have 1 match left against Costa Rica in San Jose, where we've never won. As long as they don't win by like 6 goals, we're qualified.
Well, then you better hope they don't win by 6 goals, huh?
Yeah, that's why I say it would
that
basically.
sounds pretty fucking straightforward to me.
Yeah, that's why I said it's preventing that sort of epic collapse. But you know how when you have like soccer pitches, not the full size ones, but the smaller ones,
Sure.
or some of them that are almost like 2 futsal pitches side by side, and you have that whole area fenced in. I've been watching one of my 2 YouTube channels. Well, one of the main one that I've been looking at today. Perfect venue for indoor cricket. You have not a full pitch, but from midfield of the big pitch all around to.
So the boundary.
Well, how can I better visualize this? If you have your 2 futsal pitches, your 5-a-side side by side,
Right.
in the middle between them, you could also use for a much bigger pitch. It's right in that center point. That's where you would have the stumps. And then not a full-length cricket pitch, but about, say, if I had to guess an estimate, I would say about a total of 15 yards going back towards one end.
Okay, that's a good chunk of real estate to work with.
Yeah,
about 30 feet.
Yeah, you can go ahead, deliver all of your pitches to that
Or actually,
end.
no, sorry, you said yards. That's about 45 feet.
Right. Because 66 would be still too excessive, even if you were using like a large thing. But still with that, between 30 and 45 feet.
Yeah.
You have that, deliver all of your pitches towards that end with the other stumps. how they have it set up, it's 8 aside, and you could easily do a nice T10 or T20 match, or as I put for my cricket league that I would have for my 6 aside, I changed it from 4 5-over innings per team to 2 T10s to conform easier to cricket. You could do something like that. Use the specialized tennis balls that would act as cricket balls that are much cheaper. Your specialized tennis ball cricket bats, also much cheaper. And the most expensive thing that you would have to get, besides rental of the area, is your 2 sets of spring-loaded stumps. And
why do the stumps have to be spring-loaded?
So that way you don't have to worry about constantly resetting them if they're hit.
So if they're hit, then if it's enough force, it pops the spring?
Well, no. If it's enough force, you still pop the bales off, but the stumps themselves would still straighten back into place, rather than you having to hit them back into either the ground or the base.
Yeah, but can't you technically rule somebody out if it hits the stump and the stump moves, but the bale doesn't fall off?
No. If the bale doesn't fall off, if it's not removed from both grooves, it's not out.
So the whole thing goes based on the bales and not the stumps.
Correct. You have to hit the stumps. You have to hit the stumps hard enough for the bales to move.
See, I was thinking that if you deliver enough of an oomph to the stumps, and the stumps are no longer perfectly vertically aligned, then that would be an out, even if the bales don't get dislodged. There's what I'm looking for.
As long as the bales are dislodged, you're out.
But if the stumps move and the bales don't dislodge, then you're golden.
Correct.
Oh, shit. Okay, I learned something new today.
Like
I said, I thought that the moment that the stumps became, unvertically aligned with each other,
and
then you're done.
And that's what causes those bales to drop, because there are grooves in the top of the stumps.
I know about the grooves. I've seen the grooves, yeah.
Yeah.
But I figured you might get lucky and, hit the stump and it moves just like, maybe an inch or two. And it's just enough where the stump moves, but the bale stays in place.
Sanderstead Cricket Club actually had that issue, and it was featured in coverage of the Ashes. The stumps moved just enough till one of the bales popped up, but fell right back down in between the grooves. So it was a big debate about whether that would be considered out or not out, because one of the bales moved and came back down.
And see, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, this is very similar into the vein that I'm getting to here. So that's why that's where I think that, not necessarily your example, but that's what I was thinking of. Like, okay, stump hits, bale gets dislodged, they're out. Because I know I've seen wicket keepers just walk right up to the bales and flip the bales over without even touching the stumps.
Exactly.
But I figured that was just for ease of not having to drive the stump back into the ground. Rather than, because I've also, on the flip side, seen them, whale the ball at the stump, hit the stump, almost snap it in half. Actually, I think one of them did snap in half in ECN recently. And that was also out. But I didn't know it was entirely because of the bale and not because of the actual stump itself. Because I know they're also using those light up stumps and light up bales now.
And that's why they look for when the bales light up. But man, those are hard to find. I was only able to find a set of those on Amazon in India.
Apparently, there's a prominent company that manufactures them for not ECN, but the governing body of cricket.
Yeah, the ICC. There
Thank
is.
you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Apparently, from what I also heard about them, and in doing some research on cricket, they're also widely controversial.
Because of their weight. A normal bale is only about 55 grams, so 2 ounces. Those
Right.
LED bales are 75 grams, so you're talking 2 and 3/4 ounces. That makes a huge difference when you're talking about the amount of force needed to drive them off stump. That's
That makes
why.
sense. That makes sense. I didn't know that was the reason why. I just knew that they were controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize it was because there's a weight difference.
Mm-hmm.
But LEDs aren't really that overly weighted. So I'm kind of surprised that they can't make a bale of the same weight, or maybe if anything a reasonable maybe 5 ounces over
5 grams.
or 5 grams over.
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure if they develop like further technology with the LEDs, it's doable.
Because aren't the LEDs there more so for the camera replay than the actual lines judge or umpire or whatever he's called? Because I'm sorry, I forgot.
Umpire, and yes and no. Especially, it helps with TV development and timing, but it also helps a decision review system and timing for runouts and such.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's good for TV, which TV I would consider part of a decision replay or decision deciding system.
So yes, in that particular part, when they go frame by frame, because that was actually used again in that same India South Africa women's match. They saw when both the stumps lit up and the bales lit up, showing you were coming off, and determined that the South African batter was out. Barely, but she was out. So yes, it does come into play in that regard.
I don't know. I find this all interesting.
Mm-hmm. But as I was going back to that, and they have some great, not LED with not the LED bales. They have the typical bales, but some nice wooden spring-loaded stumps, so you don't have to worry about hammering them back into the ground once you move them, and they're a little bit harder to break. You have two
Right.
sets of those, your tennis ball, cricket balls, and your bats, and off you go. Now, when you're actually batting, again, from the batter's end, where all of the balls are going to be bowled, you have that wall of far back screens. If you hit that on the full, it'd be a 6. If it bounces anywhere, even off of the roof netting of the ceiling, it would be a 4. Same for the farthest screens back on the side. If you go closer on the sides to about square leg from the batsman's crease, you hit those screens on the full, it's a 2. Same if you try the pop shot behind you, you hit those screens, it's a 2. You hit it
Okay.
along the ground, and you would still have to run for your run.
I could see that working.
Yeah, I'll actually send you the YouTube channel I've been watching so you can see more of what I'm talking about. Because I'm like,
Yeah, definitely.
because if you have this,
Because it sounds interesting, and it more so it sounds feasible.
yeah, and this is what I'm saying. For even if you don't have very, very big grounds or you don't have the open space, if you have areas like that, and I would assume they're relatively cheap to build and set up, only a few grand. Bam! That's an indoor cricket pitch. And you can still have stuff set up all around out the outside for people to easily watch and everything. So, yeah, there's that.
Like I said, that it sounds feasible.
I'm actually going through, okay, somewhat of a title that I'm going to skip over. Wait, can I not just, okay. No. Why can't I just go to the channel itself? Oh, So while I was looking through those throughout the day, and there wasn't a whole bunch on aside from basketball and everything else, I think
I mean,
YouTube
it
is,
is March Madness.
yeah, I
They're going
think
to see
you
basketball on like every channel.
agreed. I think YouTube has accepted that I'm a bit seedy and perverted, finally. Because out of nowhere, I'm getting more videos about, oh, Thai massage parlor girls in action, Pattaya girls in this neighborhood of Thailand. Massage girl reveals her secrets. And then all of a sudden, here, watch these Spanish women's water polo players warm up. Here's some more warm ups that are recommended. And I'm like, I don't know whether I feel flattered, annoyed that it took this long, or I don't know. But especially with the massage parlors and everything else.
I don't know. How about this? I'll be annoyed for you because I have known you for the better part of over a decade, as I've been
Mm-hmm.
reminded 176,000 times this weekend that this was the
Mm-hmm.
start of season 15.
Yeah. Oh dear Christ.
15.
I am
Yeah,
old.
we're getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, you ain't lying. I mean,
I mean,
hell,
I've
can't.
only been around for 13, but still, we're getting too old for this shit.
Well, and the fact that
We've
we
known each
also,
other for 13 years.
and the fact that, as we were talking about Canada qualifying for the World Cup, the last time they qualified for the World Cup, I was born during that tournament.
Oof. But yeah, no. The fact that I've known you for the better part of 13 years, and it's just now finally coming around to your YouTube, realizing your interests, shall we say?
And the fact that
Um,
I've even had a separate playlist for years that's just named boobs. That's it.
yeah, no, I'm offended for you.
So yeah, and I'm
I
thinking
got,
to
I got, I
myself,
got, I got one thing to say to that. Fuck your couch, YouTube! Fuck your couch! Fuck, this is fuck your couch!
I swear it never
Fuck
gets.
your couch!
I swear it never gets old.
Especially when I
This is,
actually do the Rick James impersonation.
but this is why I'm looking at that, and it's like, okay, I can get this for like $10, $20 a night with this particular woman, and I'm like, okay, exchange rates with the bot, going into some of their top class brothels, it would be only the equivalent of like $60 for an hour. Yeah,
That was a lot better than they charge here in the States.
I
Oh,
mean,
not
you're
that I
not.
know anything about that.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong, especially since Craigslist went under.
I know about these things, but not for the reason you think. Or at least
Yeah,
not for the
I'm
reason
well
our
aware.
viewers think.
Oh, I'm well aware. Trust me.
Ugh.
So
So
that's so
yeah.
that's been kind of occurring in my mind today. It's like, okay, if I wind up in Thailand, and I even told Mama Watkins, I'm like, look, if we're taking a
If
family
if
trip
if you go to Thailand, you do know that I am going to set you on a mission, right?
for,
You should be. I'm giving you like the death glare right now.
Well, I mean, granted, there's already going to be some things that, depending on internet service in Thailand, you would be receiving during the trip. So,
What have we been talking about on another podcast all month long?
what besides the Price is Right? Is this a Bangkok joke?
No. I mean, I could set up a Bangkok joke, SNL and all that, because we did mention that we were going to talk about that here on Point of View or sometime this month.
Yeah, the Mad TV, Bangkok, Anita Long, Hairy Dick. I
Yeah,
remember
we'll have
that.
to do that next week because I'm not on the computer to get all those links.
Fair enough.
Which next week will sadly, technically, be next month. But no, where did Rod Roddy get all of his damn suit jackets and suits from?
Ah! I don't know. That's going to be hard to find. What particular part of Thailand he got those suits and stuff from?
But the point
Granted,
is,
it would be affordable, but
I was going to say he did it in Thailand,
yes,
and
like
I'm pretty
I said,
sure it was Bangkok.
Well, I mean, if it happens, I could see what I could do. Again,
I mean, I'm just saying I could totally PayPal you some money and send you my tailoring dimensions. I can't say sizes because that implies that I'm like some busty, 36, 22, 36 girl. That adds up, right?
As if dimensions aren't worse.
You know what the hell I'm talking about, god damn it.
Measurements?
You technical sumbitch.
I'm going to do this every time you mention that now in perpetuity.
What, just the arm out thing for wide call?
No.
Or for no ball?
Yes.
I'm like giving you the death glare and flipping you off at the same time. I want you to know that. The pink fuzzy hat does not do it justice.
But
sadly,
yes.
The viewers cannot see the pink fuzzy hat.
There's your pink fuzzy
hat. The pink fuzzy hat. I'm still pissed that I can't find a replacement for that hat.
In due time.
Look, it went out. It served a good life, okay? It went out the way it lived, partying hard.
Exactly. May that hat long be remembered as such, but I'm thinking if it's something like that, I would just hope they would take longer than 7 minutes like I saw in this one particular video.
7 minutes? You can't enjoy shit in 7 minutes.
Well, apparently this one old white dude did. As I just saw 7 minutes later. Dude was coming out, and I was like, okay. Alrighty.
Dude must have been hopped up on sildenafil, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, maybe.
And probably wasn't in the market to last very long anyways.
Maybe. But I mean, for what would be the equivalent...
I mean, come on, 7 minutes?
Well, I mean, for what
no, hold on a second here. I gotta take some issue with this, okay?
I'll send you the link to the video.
7 minutes. There's like no foreplay there at all whatsoever. There's no like pretenses or anything. That's just straight up like either two things are happening in that room, right? It is either A, the both of them got naked and he got straight to business giving her the back shots, or B, she got straight to business getting on her knees. But either way, dude finished in 7 minutes meant like literally that was like, the definition of premature ejaculation. Dude definitely blowing his load too early. I don't care what you say. 7
Oh,
minutes is not long enough to actually enjoy anything. You are literally there to hit it and quit it.
well, I mean, again, old white dude. Ah, here
Which
it
is
is.
why I made my first comment saying that the some bitch is probably hopped up on sildenafil.
Well, the
Which,
link
if you
is in
don't
your.
know, well, and for those of you at home who are watching that don't know what the hell sildenafil is, Google. You'll learn something new today.
Well, there you go. I sent you that link as well.
Yeah, I'll have to fucking watch. Well, maybe I don't want to watch that right now, but I
I
will have to
mean,
watch that.
it's YouTube safe, so you don't see any of the action, but there's a link in the description that I'm probably going to check out myself. But
Ugh.
aside from that, and thinking about all that I can do with the equivalent of what is now $17 ish, a little goes a long way. And I think that's a perfect way to end the show for this week.
You some bitch, though.
What?
I said I had a drink review.
Have you gotten the drink?
Went and Ben had the drink.
Well,
I love how we have a graphic for this now.
yes, we do.
So today's drink of choice, or this week's drink review of choice, is it's not so much new, but I have to admit I have noticed that it has disappeared from traditional supermarket shelves, and I almost forgot that it was a thing until I ran into it at the gas station. Which is the Dr. Pepper and cream soda combination.
Oh, that's good.
It is good. I actually got them when they first came out during the pandemic, or really right before it hit, majorly, at the local Publix in 12 packs. But I got a 20-ounce bottle that I picked up ice cold at the gas station when we stopped for fuel. Actually, it wasn't fuel. We just had to stop for the bathroom. But it's oh yeah, that's a very good.
As someone who loves a cream soda, I definitely approve.
Oh yeah, me too. Like cream soda is my number one favorite soda. Only behind root beer, but it has to be a good root beer. I'm not talking like Bards or anything. Like I'm talking, give me like a premium root beer, like a IBC or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely mix this perfectly. Like you get that like peppery taste of a Dr. Pepper, but you get that smoothness of a cream soda.
Right.
And that like distinctive like vanilla cream flavor. Like I don't know how they blended this together, but they definitely did a very good job in doing so. Like I am very much thoroughly impressed with this.
Okay.
Um
Okay.
I don't know where you can buy it right now. And if Dr. Pepper, which is definitely Dr. Pepper, would like to sponsor us here on the W2F network and have me feature more of their fine products, they can, always reach out to me. I am at the Andesian on Twitter. You can direct your sponsorship inquiries there, and we will definitely love to hear from you.
I have been doing that for you so often. That was been done about 3 times today just on BWSR.
I'm not surprised, actually. But yeah, no, like I said, it's really good. I don't know where you can get it in supermarkets. It might be on the shelves at your local supermarket. I haven't seen it in a while. But I'm pretty sure your local gas station probably has it in the 20-ounce bottle.
Well, it's
And it wasn't
definitely
a
something.
horrible price. I paid $1.40, I think it was.
Not bad
Which
for a gas
not
station.
horrible. Yeah, not
Yeah.
horrible for gas station. Usually you're gonna pay like, closer to $2 for a 20-ounce.
Right.
Especially at like a non-chain gas station, which is what this was.
Right.
But yes, absolutely delicious. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Okay. And that's a good way to end this week's show. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for listening and watching. If you're watching, thank you for watching live. Facebook.com/W2M Network, Twitter.com/W2M Network, Twitch.tv/W2M Net. This will also be up on YouTube, YouTube.com/W2M Network. And for those of you who prefer to take your podcast orally, a Stitcher, Spreaker, Podbean, Castbox, Overcast, iTunes, Google Pods, Apple Pods. Rate and review us 5 stars on Spotify. If you name the platform, we're practically on it. If not, let us know and we can figure out a way to get there. Main Disembodied Voice, where can they find you on the social media and the internet?
I don't know. I'm apparently a senior producer here now on the network, and I have shows, and I jump on other people's shows when I feel like it, kind of, sort of. So I'm probably somewhere here on the network, including shows that may or may not be on hiatus. I am also, or whatever. I am also, God damn it, I'm laughing at my own joke. What the hell, Brian? I am also on Twitter at the Andesian. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can also direct all of your hate mail about why I am on the network too much or not enough to the Mr. Hate Mail himself, s.garmer@gmail.com.
Yeah, you think you're not on the network too much.
Oh, more on that another time. I was gonna say something and now I forgot. Oh yeah. Punching Charlie Murphy in the face.
What?
No, I never punched Charlie Murphy in the face. You don't remember that part from True Hollywood Stories where they ask him, "Would you ever punch Charlie?" Man, I would never punch Charlie Murphy in the face.
No, that wasn't the taunting the face. That was the grinding his couch.
Oh yeah, I never grind my feet into somebody's couch.
Yeah, I remember grinding my feet into Eddie's couch. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
He's a rich motherfucker. He can buy another one. Go buy another one, you rich motherfucker. I'm a James, bitch. Come over here and show Charlie Murphy your titties. Come over here and have sex with Eddie Watkins. Yep. I'm Charlie Murphy. I'm Rick James, bitch. Show Eddie Watkins your titties, bitch. I'm Rick James.
See, aren't you glad that you did this episode tonight?
I fully intended on doing it the whole fucking time. You just were trying to convince me not to.
Well, you're the one who's like, "Hey, I'm just getting home. Hey, it's late. Hey, I need sleep. Hey, I haven't eaten." But anyways,
I had a half of a Subway sandwich. It was good.
Well, I did have half of a Cuban with my taco pickles today. Also very good. And I highly recommend taco pickles.
We're going to have to talk about pickles.
Okay.
Because Publix has these boar's head garlic pickles that are fucking to die for. We'll talk about that next week. Write that down for next week's show.
Gotcha. Garlic and taco pickles will do.
So just pickles in general.
Okay. Pickles.
Because we're going to talk about some fried pickles, too. Because we can't talk about pickles without talking about no damn fried pickles. Because I love me some fried pickles.
I mean, you're not wrong. Fried pickles with some ranch is delicious. But anyway.
No. You got to do it right. You got to get the jalapeno ranch.
I will debate you on the merits of that next week. But in the meantime, you can find me at Squid Sportshead on Twitter. Eric Watkins on Facebook. Guy, Wine, Recliner, you have the right one. If you happen to slide into my DMs on Twitter, undergo a strict and thorough vetting process, you will gain access to all kinds of media, especially if you directly DM me at Superviewer. You go ahead and go through the process. I will go through and accept the follow request.
Excellent, because I was about to cuss your ass out saying you're giving out the safe for work Twitter on the not safe for work show.
Well, again, strict and thorough vetting process because things have changed.
Of course, it's always a strict and thorough vetting process. But you know, if you're crazy enough or bold enough to listen to this show, yeah, you deserve to get the direct Twitter handle.
Says the man at NSFW Andesian, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways,
All right, you technical bitch.
You will go through that process. You accept the follow request to get dark Twitter, dark Reddit, Telegram, Kick. I'm not fucking with Snapchat anymore. And I'm going to discuss why more next week. Snapchat has given me too many issues in the last week. And will probably continue to do so. So I'm winding my way off of that and going to Telegram.
I haven't really. So here's, and we'll talk more about this next week, but Snapchat, I think, as a platform is dead for two reasons. One, weirdly enough, people are flocking to Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
For the whole, like, story thing.
Yes.
Two, the encrypted, like, self-deleting messaging and all that is now better served by either Telegram or WhatsApp. Is it WhatsApp? Yeah, I think it's WhatsApp.
And even then, Telegram is not under the eye of the Zuck.
Yeah. And then, like, your longer reel shit that people love to post on Snapchat is also getting replaced by TikTok.
Yep, TikTok and YouTube Shorts, but yes.
So, yeah, Snapchat is very quickly finding themselves in a place of irrelevancy, which is not a territory that I think Snapchat is very familiar with.
No. And we'll go into a more in-depth discussion on that next week. I have that on the docket. But
along with another signature main disembodied voice drink review, exclusive to Point of Viewer.
Of course. Why do you think you have the banner?
Look, I have to plug the new regular shtick, which is technically the only regular shtick on this show.
Regular shtick for Point of Viewer? What's that?
The main disembodied voice drink review featuring me at the Andesian. You walked right into that.
That was a main disembodied voice who's lucky that we can't get into a smacking contest right now.
I am right into that. You be mad at me when you literally opened you threw a wide, threw a no ball for 6. You gave me 7 runs.
Oh, now you know it's 7 runs.
You technical sumbitch. You know what? Fuck it. Good night, folks. That's it. Fuck it. We're out of here. Good night.
Don't be a dick. We'll see you next week. This is Point of Viewer, a presentation of the W2M Network. Enjoy your week, folks.
Konnichiwa, bitches.